I love the concept of it. Now, I'm very new to it all, and again, it will be a huge learning curve even for me as opposed to the students, but I think it's a great idea because I even see the difference in them.
For me, coming from formal teaching into working in this situation over the last 5 years, I've really learnt a completely different approach to working with young people and interacting with them, and to be honest, it has reminded me of why I got into teaching in the first place.
Bridge21 shows that it is possible in the Irish context to develop new ways of teaching secondary school students that produces outcomes that are more effective.
The 21st century is a very different place for students to be learning. Some of the theory even suggests that we don't know the jobs that will exist in 10 years' time when some students are ready to leave school. So teachers are aware of that, and they're aware of the external context at the moment.
We're lucky in this country. We have a really good cohort of teachers across the system. We're very committed to working hard, to making a difference and to supporting the education of the children they work with. But their challenge now, how do we also create a system that actually helps people not just do well on exams, but actually become team players, problem solvers, people who have good interpersonal skills, people who can think differently, in the cliche, who can think outside the box or wonder why they're in the box in the first place.
Doing project work like this opens up the possibilities. Their imaginations kick in, they can bring it in directions that the teacher may not have even thought of.
There's a completely different relationship between Kevin and the students and the mentors and the students.
That role of being a facilitator or a mentor really gives you an added sense of freedom, where you can get to see the students on a completely different level. You're learning together. It's not you at the top of the room imparting all of your knowledge.
Bridge21 isn't a resource intensive model. You can work within your existing classroom.
Well, we've been very fortunate having 8 schools which have signed up for the first stage of the pilot programme, and results from those have been positive. Now we're really looking for other schools and organisations who are interested in also getting involved. The team here can offer support, and actually support to individual teachers and to sets of teachers who are interested in introducing this methodology into their classroom.
First of all, we'll work with the students and bring them into Oriel House, and their teachers will accompany them, so that the teachers get to observe us in action with the students. And then after that, a professional development workshop follows for teachers, where we'll go into some of the theory in a little bit more detail and allow them to experience the model firsthand themselves.
When you hear individual teachers share their story of how they're seeing changes across their class, when there's stories about children who had been perhaps falling behind in an old system, who are now catching up, who are seeing that they're not behind, that they can learn just as well as anybody else.
The more you allow the students to control themselves, the less they actually need to be controlled. They often will embrace the freedom that you give them, and they will use it for their benefit and the benefit of their classmates.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a spread of schools across the country, different types of schools, different mixes of schools, schools with different objectives, and to work with those schools to come up with a version of the Bridge21 model that suits what that school is trying to do in its 21st century agenda.